One more pivot. There's a Leo
I was
candle burning.
so I'm looking at. I can't see it, but
Shout
I'm
out to
looking
the
at
Leos right here. 'Cause we got a
Oh,
Leo candle burning.
yay.
That's why you
I don't know what the
want.
scent is on that. 'Cause my nostrils don't work.
Listen, Rose, hold on.
It's white cranberry and musk.
Golly, can I get
Is
one
that
of
a Leo
them?
candle? You a Leo?
Well, it's the
Nah.
season for it, you know.
I love it. How
So-
many Leos you got in your circle? Because why would you do that?
And
Well,
what kind
I've-
of smell is
I've been-
musk?
That's what.
That's what I would have.
So the musk is for us. The white cranberry is for y'all.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, he tried to.
Not a musk for you, brother. I want to be musky.
I am so grateful and happy that you all are tuned in to the second season of Why Not Us, the podcast. And I know it's been a while, but I'm just a one-man show, so I really appreciate the patience because I do think we got something cool this season. I get a chance to talk to the homies about the trials and the triumphs we all go through in developing healthy routines and relationships and the adjustments that we make along the way. Super excited to share these conversations with you all and more excited about the journey ahead. So feel free to take anything and everything from these conversations to apply to your life. Because if other people can create healthy routines and relationships, then why not us? Enjoy the podcast. I've only been in 2 relationships. Both.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, same.
Shit. Can we say the S word?
Yeah.
You done asked that 3 times.
17 times.
I'm sorry. You know, I got a
Shit.
memory of a
Shit.
Get the shits out the way. Go ahead and practice.
Shit.
dun, 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 dun.
But yeah, and both of them were Leos. And then
What's your sign?
I'm a Pisces.
I don't see that working.
And then I mean I'm single, so
You know.
and
It
then
ain't because of
the
that, but yeah.
I mean I'm just keeping it G. They weren't terrible relationships. The first one was toxic. The second one was amazing. To be honest with you,
Why y'all break up then? Okay,
I don't wanna talk
sorry.
about
I
deep for the intro.
apologize. That was
I
a
don't-
lot.
But here's the I don't want to talk about it because I don't only represent myself if I have that conversation.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, that's
talking
a
about
man.
her.
Y'all hear that?
I'm-
That is a man right there. Somebody that's not gonna be a Kevin Samuels and be like, nah, cause
Hey, we ain't gonna throw Kevin Samuels under the bus.
we are gonna
entirely.
Let's talk
Entirely.
about it.
Now, there's a lot of stuff that he says that I agree with, but I can't just talk
Can you
about someone
edit
else.
this out. Me trying to get my hair out.
Yeah, well,
okay.
we got 3 cameras, so yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I personally can't talk about it because you know who she is. This is probably going to affect her in a certain way, and then it's probably going to affect the family in a certain way. So yeah, I'm not at the point. If I was 1 million followers, no one would know who I'm talking about if I was talking about a certain situation. But at this point, I have on Instagram. It's like I got like 1,000 followers. I would say 600 of them know her.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay.
The same 600
That's
gonna
very
know, even if it's a million.
Right.
So what they gonna matter, brother? But I hear you.
Can you say this though? Was it you or was it her?
It
Or
was-
was it a both?
It was
like both?
collaborative thing, no?
It was.
Oh.
Be honest. Be honest.
I am. I'm trying to be deliberate.
Trying to find it.
There's always accountability for everybody.
Yeah.
However, it does swing one way sometimes.
I'll answer that at some point in this
Okay.
conversation, but not right now.
And
But
it's-
I'll answer before
it's
we.
crazy when a relationship ends. It's like you're only thinking about what they did and how they ruined the relationship. But when you really sit back and look at it from the bigger picture, is both.
Yeah, 1,000%.
A lot of times it's both.
Right.
But I just had a conversation literally maybe a week or 2 ago, and somebody was going through something, and they were like, "Hey, they thinking about getting a divorce or whatever the case is." And I was literally trying to tell them, "Hey, have you done any work to try and fix it, or you just going?" Your first answer was like, "Oh, let's go ahead and get that
Course.
paperwork done." So it's like, and it's always a point to where somebody, even if somebody did you wrong, your first instinct is to be like, "Oh, that person did this, that person did that." You digging back trying to pull up things that person did instead of like, "You wasn't saying that 2 weeks ago."
Right.
You weren't
Yeah.
upset about these things 2 weeks ago. I like stay true to yourself. If you're gonna be upset about something you want a divorce, just focus on that. Don't start bashing that because you're not a bad person, or she may not be a bad person, but so stay true to yourself when you're going through these things, and that's what I want to say. Just
But even with doing that, like you to stay true to yourself, you have to know who self is. Like you,
that's a fact.
if you're in a
Let that bar
relationship,
go on, bro.
What
What
a
a
I
clap,
Whoa.
what a
also
clap button.
feel like this generation
Dun,
is very
dun.
quick to let go.
Yes, and
This
Yeah.
I was
generation
just
is
about
very
to ask
quick
that.
to just be like, "Oh, I could find somebody else.
Yeah.
I could."
yeah.
Because we're
very
so connected.
delusional.
And
But
your word
We
for
are
this
delusional.
month
And it's
is
okay to be
delusional.
It's okay to be delusional, but you gotta
It is
understand,
not.
like,
Not when it comes to partnership.
like Medina said,
Wait,
have you put in the work?
Yeah.
Have you looked at the other?
I don't think we have the tools in this generation
Why
to
don't you
yeah.
pull that mic closer to
Yeah.
your mouth?
Oh, I need to. Okay.
yeah, you so the camera can see you. You don't have to
bite it.
It got your entire face.
Do we have the tools right now? Like
Do we have-
Medina, you a different species.
What
Like you
tools,
don't
though?
it is the tools of conversating, having those communication skills at this point. Or if you married, I feel like you owe each other a conversation. Like if you not meeting my needs and I'm not meeting yours, how can we step aside and say put everything we married? We should be able to do that, no?
Again, but
Yeah.
it's accountability. So even if she came, if it's my situation and a woman came to me, hey, she wanted a divorce, I'm gonna ask the questions. Why? How did
Why?
you come to this conclusion?
If she
Whatever,
want a
whatever.
divorce, she
If I
passed
s-
the question.
If I start,
Passed the
She
question.
passed the
Way
question.
past.
With
she
a
gonna, if
woman.
we being honest, women gonna talk enough to give me something.
Yeah.
She not just gonna be like,
But a
all right,
lot
I'm
of
out
men
and
don't
just.
be listening.
But I'm
from
just
the-
talking about me. I ain't
Yeah.
talking about these other dudes.
Okay.
But
Fair.
if she comes to me, I'm gonna ask the questions,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna know if this really my person. If we got married, I'm gonna know her enough to be like,
Right. That's what I was gonna get to.
something lying
Something
underneath.
wrong.
So let me pull that out.
Yeah.
So then I can know what I need to work on, whether it's with you or with somebody else. I'm gonna start doing all that digging and kind of probing to figure out what is really the root of this. Whether it's something we can fix. If it's not, then I know what to fix within myself to take it to somebody else.
What would
So
y'all
that's how-
say as men are the telltale signs that you about to lose your lady?
I'm like Rosie. I only been in 2, so I ain't got
The
a
telltale
wide.
sign?
Y'all should know.
I usually know. I here's my issue. I'll tell you what my issue is.
How did it go from telltale to my issue? Go ahead,
I'm gonna answer
Rose.
the question. I usually ignore, and I don't think this is a red flag, and I don't think this is toxic behavior. I think this is what you're supposed to do.
I'm gonna let you know if it's
in a
toxic.
committed relationship. I
Tony
usually
gonna let you know too.
well not ignore it, but this is what I do. I usually if I see an issue, right,
Uh-huh.
that's a that can become a serious red flag because I know myself. I know the things that I want in a relationship, and if I see you making adjustments that's against those things,
Yeah.
what I usually do the first few times that happens is I ignore it, that's my issue,
Toxic.
right?
Red
And
flag.
then and then later on, I address it. But what usually happens is when I decide to address it, the person that has been committed to this behavior is comfortable with it. Like, oh, I've been doing it with him, so it's not going to be an issue. Let me do it one more time. Let me do it another time. And then when I address it, it's like you said, why is this an issue now? I've been doing this, and for me, it's always been an issue.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a question. On this path of being grown, right?
Uh-huh.
And breaking generational curses. I know both of y'all over there. Over there. Consider yourselves strong black men because I see y'all as that.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
how big of an ego crusher is it to just pull your lady to the side and say, like, look, your behavior is off, but we need to talk about this. How can we resolve it?
I'm gonna
Yes.
speak for me. It's easy because my main thing is like, no matter what happens, if I feel like a decision that's made on either one of our parts, if a conversation that needs to be had on either one of our parts isn't had and that's gonna cause me drama down the line, I'm gonna address that immediately. So if it's something that's like, hey, I need to tell you about yourself because I'm not finna live the next few weeks, months,
Right.
years in
Stressed.
misery or stressed or depressed, then I'm finna tell you right now. Because the last thing I'ma go through is some unhappiness.
That's leadership
I think that
skills.
comes with time and
Experience.
maturity as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Because
I mean, yes, of
I was
course.
going through that. Like, I am big on like, damn, I see someone doing something I don't like. You shouldn't be doing that. Like, you know better. In my head, it's like, you know better. So why should I address it? But now that I'm getting older and I'm experiencing new things, you should address it.
Because
And
not everybody know
it's not
better.
what you say, it's how you say it. Hey,
Right,
babe, like,
right.
you've been doing this. I don't like it, right?
It's the finesse of vulnerability.
Yeah.
Do
Right.
y'all
Check
know
me
what
out. Sit down.
vulnerability really
Have a
is?
seat. You want a glass of wine?
Yeah.
Here you go. Let me,
Whatever you
let's-
got to
let's
do
talk.
to make it feel comfortable. And sometimes, women aren't easy to deal with, but I think
some
I
men
would
too, for sure. but
yeah. I think I would soften up for a man that's like, hey, we gotta talk.
Yeah.
It's gonna be uncomfortable, but I'm gonna soften up and I'm gonna respect that more if you pull me to the side and say, you moving different. Like,
I
what's
think-
going on?
I think it's a foundation, like how you started.
Yeah.
Right. If you
Yeah.
start off in that very like communicative like way, like, hey, like, babe, I don't like this, it's gonna flow like that.
Right.
So when there's a problem, it's not gonna be like, damn, like, why you tripping,
Mhm.
So I think it's just how you start the relationship off.
You gotta start it with
learning
like
that.
real consideration and
Yeah.
understanding for that person. Because if you go into it like most people go into life and be like, hey, all men are like this, all women are like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
then you're gonna automatically assume because this particular man or woman is doing this to you, it's because it's some stereotype or whatever the case is.
Do
But it may be
patterns
some underlying thing that you just gotta dig through that he wants you to dig through.
And I
Yeah.
think it's social media too, because I
Oh.
feel like a lot of people have their opinions and it's posted, plastered on social media. So now it's like in your head.
They've
All
adopted
men,
those
all
opinions.
men is
Yeah.
like that. All women are. So I definitely think social
I'm sorry for
media
interrupting.
plays.
you want
I
Kenya
was,
to say
I was trying
something?
to no. I was trying to get a sip of wine and it fell all on my
Listen,
beard.
I feel you.
You want to switch seat?
No, I missed my whole mouth. I was trying to grab
the
paper,
napkin.
The napkin. Are you? I would- yeah. Also, if you want, I got wings and Doritos back there,
Oh,
and kiwi and
she trying
strawberries.
to turn
Some
up.
Publix wing.
Oh, them things be
But I
fire.
cook those, okay? That's grilled
Did
by
we ask him if
Rose.
he be cooking? He said,
Yeah, he said I ain't cooked nothing today.
I
Fuck
mean,
y'all. I
sometimes.
mean,
And yet,
Blump
I
it.
cook those for y'all, but
blump it. I was hoping that didn't come out.
oh, my goodness.
Anyways, I think.
I have a. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, go. You
No,
go,
go ahead. Take
No, you
off.
say anyways. Kick the
Anyways,
bucket.
yeah, you said it.
anyways, I feel like patterns of small nuances, like of course, women are going to be women, men are going to be men, and we're going to do things the same. I think the generations will have trends of how we communicate, how we act, how we move, because everybody is on that I don't care culture, and so it's hard to navigate through that to take it serious. But I think the foundation of how you have respect for each other and how y'all want to talk and communicate. I think if I were to get into a relationship right now, one of my things is communication, because I don't communicate well. I'll shut down. So if I want to attract a man that's going to communicate well enough so that I will feel safe enough to do that for him too, and just as a whole communicate better. So how big is that necessity when you look for a woman beyond attraction? Like, how big is that in the
What,
necessity?
communication?
Yeah.
It's twofold now.
It
It can't just be communication. You got
I
to be
think that's-
comprehension.
Yeah.
You can talk all you want to talk, but if they ain't grasping what you're saying, or even trying to
That part.
receive that information,
That
none of
part.
that communication even matters.
Yeah, I think communication is an umbrella term, and
A what?
it's an umbrella term.
Oh, I was-
Like it's
Umbrella.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
Trickle effect.
it shouldn't
maybe.
and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't represent everything else. Like when I say communication, I expect you to understand that I'm talking about comprehension
Right.
too.
I think that comes with the attraction. I don't think you're going to attract somebody unless you just shallow as hell.
Okay.
I don't think you gonna attract somebody that can't communicate on your level.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
would.
you will.
I think you can.
For
Yeah.
men.
Because you got to think about
Women
Ooh,
too.
you right.
Sometimes
You
the
right.
first
Let
part
me
of it
shut up.
too, yeah.
Let me
Sometimes
shut
the
up.
first point of attraction
Because
is just
attraction
looks.
is just the looks.
Yeah.
Damn, he fine. Like, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And he might
And
be
he
dumb
don't.
as hell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can't even have a conversation.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. All right.
But communication,
I
I
would
think,
like
is
to-
definitely like number one. I feel like for a relationship to work.
Yeah.
Especially
For it to
in
go.
the beginning.
Is that like the number one issue for you specifically that you realize that occurred in the past that you can't like move forward with?
No, not for me personally.
So what's number one?
that
top of the list?
why it don't work or why
No,
I can't
like,
move?
one thing that has happened in past relationships that you realized, you know what, I have to have this moving forward. Like what this one thing was an issue.
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Oh, I got you. Let me take over.
Okay.
Early on, for some reason, if I locked in and I was real attracted to somebody, whatever they liked, I tried to mold myself to be. So if it was like, hey, they listen, I said
I
early
don't
on.
see that.
I said
I don't
early
see you
on,
simping
early
like
on.
this,
Listen,
Medina. This
one
is
of them was 5
Bro,
years
you
ago.
are
The other
you
one
are
was
starting
like
to make so much sense to me right
15
now.
years ago. But I'm saying, like, I'm
I'm
real caring about people, and I'm like a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I think that's a Leo man.
That makes
Yeah.
so
I think
sense.
that's a Leo man.
No.
That's a
Okay.
Leo man.
I don't think
I've learned
Medina
now.
is
Like,
like-
now I'm like,
he not a
hey,
normal
I'm
Leo.
ratchet. I say the N word all the time. I listen to
that's who I
drill
am.
music. Like,
Yeah.
all this is a part of me. If you don't like it, you can get
You-
from around me.
Yeah.
Tony, you know what you
But
want to know what that's
before,
called?
I was,
What?
It's called spiritual rape.
I gotta.
hey, brother, can you say rape? I think
Hey,
that
yeah,
might
you
be
can.
one of them words.
Nah.
you can't say.
Can you
He
see?
We gonna
can, say,
bleep those.
he can say spiritual rape in one thing.
And
like
one
it
thing,
can-
if it's
yeah,
connected, it's
if
hyphenated. There's a dash in between them. That's spiritual
Tell
rape.
you
That's
to
what I
that.
wrote in my notes and I sent to y'all.
no,
I ain't read them.
listen.
You ain't send me that.
How do you?
Yeah, she
No,
read
let's
it.
talk about that,
That's spiritual
Rose.
rape.
Because I really can somebody spiritually rape you if you know who you are?
Well, let me define what it is.
Yeah.
So it's what he said. Like the reason if I'm trying to get to know somebody now in today's time, I'm not gonna tell them what I want. Like in a woman, I'm not gonna do that. We not having that conversation at all.
Because you can
'Cause they gonna try
spiritually
to
rape
mold-
me.
They're
yeah.
gonna try to mold
Yeah.
themselves into
There you
go.
the
If you
type of
really-
person that you
Same.
want.
Right. If you really want me, I've seen it happen. Even not with just with me, but in other situations where someone would hear what this person is looking for, and they'll make adjustments to who they actually are just to get with this person. And then what happens later on is they get tired of it because you can't do that forever. That's not a long lasting
Yeah.
thing.
That's some real
That's
manipulation.
what. So y'all asked me what didn't work in my past relationship. That he was my yes man, and I did not like that
But
at
don't
all.
you feel like with age, you don't give a fuck? You don't care no more.
with age?
With age and getting older,
With it,
you're gonna show up as who
Wisdom.
you are.
Yeah. No.
with experience.
For some people, if they feel like you the bag and they trying to get you at all means necessary, they don't care. And naturally, because I'm goofy and my spirit is young, I attract younger men. So they see something. They see dollar signs.
And y'all can't look through that.
I
you
I
can't
definitely
see the
can. Oh, I definitely can now.
can't look through what?
I was 25, 26 at the time, which is around some.
That's still
But I'm
that's
saying, like, when
still
you-
old enough.
That's what I'm saying. So I can't say age.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can
Gonna go
tell
through
when
it.
someone is trying to be who you want them to be and not their authentic.
No,
you can't.
no,
Not if
you
you-
can't.
No, you
like
can't.
Nah,
can.
nah.
Not if you don't. How?
And
Hell
maybe,
no,
How is
you
that
maybe
can't.
possible?
because
I'm about to say,
maybe
you
because
might.
I don't be
Right,
I don't
right.
be so wrapped up and I'm so in love.
Yeah.
You know?
Listen,
that-
I've learned so much from you as a woman, but at the time, I was single before I got with this person for almost 5 years.
Uh-huh.
So when this person came into my life and they was like, and I'm a Leo too, so they
Right.
know how I want to be loved. And he put that shit on, if I could just say
it can
that.
influence your.
Put
He
it
put
on.
that
Like,
shit
if you
on,
haven't-
like
if you've been lonely
everything.
for that 5 years or however long, and you really want somebody,
Yeah.
once you finally get that person, and she's
It's-
like, all right, we kind of
it's game.
You be like,
Yeah.
all right, let me walk on eggshells a little bit to make
Oh,
sure this thing works.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
And that's exactly
I don't
what
do
it
that now,
was.
but yeah. It's
But I
common.
caught on.
I'm the
I caught
type
on.
to call out. I'm the
Yeah.
type to call out like what you doing that for?
Yeah.
Like,
I
Yeah.
wish somebody
But
could
how
acting
you
like
how you know though? Like how are you able
it's
to
just
like?
a vibe. You could feel it. You could feel it. Like I feel like I'm very like what's the word? When I'm with someone, I watch their every move. I watch how they act.
She's
So it's
just
like it's
spiritually in
it's
tune.
just different things. Like
Focused.
when you
Yeah.
can see when they're very comfortable, right? You
Mhm.
could tell how they act. You could tell how they move. And then it's like little things like I get mad. Now you trying to
You're present.
yeah. Now you changing up. Now you trying to win me over, doing things that you wouldn't even
Yeah.
normally do.
But do you initially tell them what you want?
Yeah.
When I'm
So
I'm
that's
very
what it
dominant.
is?
So when I'm mad, I don't like that. I don't like that.
But so okay.
So
That's
when you do something like you said, like before in previous relationships, I would be like, damn, like you should already know what I want. You
Yeah.
should already know that's not right,
yeah.
right? But now, if I'm with somebody, I don't like that.
You
I'm
don't
a-
like telling them?
No, if they do something I don't like that.
If they do
You-
something you don't like.
Oh, you
Yeah.
gonna tell them that you don't like
I'm gonna
it?
let them know
Yeah.
from the jump. I don't
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's where I'm
Ah.
at now. That was so
Yeah.
what I detailed earlier. That was me initial, like a while ago. But where I'm at now, I'm very direct about.
Very direct.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you could tell, like, for an example, I was talking to somebody and he did something I didn't like. We spoke about it. And then he would try to act as like he wouldn't act a certain type of way throughout the relationship, but when I'm angry, that's when he'll change up. That's not who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm
you
gonna call it out every time. That's not who you are.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna take that. I'm not gonna fall for
And
it.
you
Like,
shouldn't.
yeah. So
That's
that's
fair.
what I'm saying. Like, how do y'all not see it? Like, how do you
I
keep
could
on going throughout a relationship for
The
years
reason why I don't see it
and
is
not call
because
it out?
when I meet somebody, right? If I meet them initially, some people, if I'm having a conversation, let's just say me and Kavette, we met for the first time today, right? And we're having a conversation. The reason why I don't know the reason why you're having a conversation with me. Like we're at the bar and you turned down 10 guys before I walked into the bar. I'm the 11th guy and you decided to have a conversation
Are
with
you
me.
seeing the 10 guys before? Or
No,
you just
I just walked in.
You
I'm
just walked
assuming,
in. Okay,
right?
okay. Gotcha.
And then we're having a conversation at the bar, but you decided to have a conversation with me. Whatever the reason why you decided to have the conversation with me is maybe because you're interested,
Yeah.
right? That's the reason why you turned the other 10 guys down.
Right.
So if I'm having a conversation with you and I'm telling you everything I want, at that moment, I don't know nothing about you.
Right.
I have nothing to compare what you're about to do next after I tell you everything about like everything that I want. I can't compare that to anything. So all I can do is be like the person that she's being at this moment is who she is.
Mhm.
I can't that'd be judging her to say that you being fake or you being because I don't know. I just met you.
But through the months of dating someone and you're observing them every day that you're with them, or even if you're not with them every day, but every time that you're with them, you can see who they really are, right? Who they truly are.
That's
There's
true.
moments in time that you can really observe them and watch them and be like, this is who they really are.
Yeah.
And then there's other moments to like,
Will's like,
what
nah.
you act
No.
like. I'll say something.
Yeah.
I'll say something like, oh,
You
I
go
like this,
first,
or
Medina.
I don't like when guys do this. And then
No.
all of a sudden, this is what you turn. Like that's not who you are.
That's why. So so is that true for you too?
No.
Is
And
that-
I'm
what about
gonna
you?
get into what happened to me personally.
No, I just had a follow up question, but go ahead.
So I'm gonna just go back to the relationship I had after being single for a longer stint. It was very organic. Then I was very honest and transparent with this person. Like, look, I could tell your feelings for me are stronger than my feelings for you. I don't love you, but I could tell you love me. Yeah. No, I'm a whole ass. Like, I'm gonna be for real, especially if I know my feelings for you aren't stronger than your feelings for me. I'm gonna tell you because I've been there before. I've been on the other side of that. So I want to be honest, but through all of my like I have erratic episodes like where I'm just like, bruh, like you never know what's gonna happen. It's a bag of fun all the time. But he was able to navigate through all of that and pick me up. And that to me, that shows a lot more than what you can tell me. So your actions and how you move around me and how you deal with the ups and downs and all arounds really shows how much you rock for me, and that to me is going to build more respect than what you tell me. So you could tell me anything, you could be like, oh my god baby, I love, nah.
So you don't believe that's what you're saying. You're saying when you meet, if we're in a bar, we're having a conversation, and I'm
Yeah.
telling you who I am,
I'm
right?
not gonna listen to
You
that.
don't believe any of
Nah,
that.
actions speak way louder than words. It's gonna be, it's. I'm gonna base who you are off of what you tell me in a certain stint. Like,
So let me ask you something.
yeah,
Let's say after we had the conversation, right, in person,
yeah,
and you realize through actions that this person is a good person. They're a good person. They're a healthy person. You're attracted to them,
yeah.
and you're willing to move forward to see what happens. But in comparison to what they told you, you still realize there's a lot of stuff that was a lie.
That first red flag.
Listen to it.
Yeah,
Because
no, like
that is you're
that's
still a good
discernment.
person, but you lied to me when we met.
I'm gonna probably call it out.
Right.
Because right now, that's what my motto this year for 2023 was: get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Vulnerability and calling stuff out instead of just shutting down and leaving is
Uncomfortable.
uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if y'all like working with me. Like, I do not like confrontation. I don't like being vulnerable to that extent.
Mhm.
So it's hard. And now I do that.
Mhm.
I have to, because that's a part of being true with who I am. And we need to have those uncomfortable conversations. And it's all about how you conduct yourself in those uncomfortable situations.
Fair.
Yep.
Yep.
No, my follow-up
I
question
think we
was
all
gonna
looked
be
at you.
like, no,
Yeah, right.
Because I be thinking like, that's why I hate doing this kind of 21 questions when we first meet kind of thing. Always asking everything. Like, I like just letting that thing flow, because if we keep asking each other stuff, you ain't doing them but giving each other ammo to kind of then be somebody else.
But
And you're
in
gonna
all
give your
honesty,
best answer. You're gonna
Yeah.
do
give.
y'all
Yeah.
remember
You're gonna
that
try to
stuff
be the
though?
best.
Like,
I
I
definitely
don't,
'cause
I
not
don't
gonna say
remember
that.
that. What did I say?
But
And
yeah,
I
I
think
just hate that.
that goes back to this generation, like what you said, like we're so quick to just leave things alone instead of like actually putting in the work and like, hey, you said this, but it didn't match up.
Yeah.
Having that conversation. Like this generation, we're so quick to be like,
I don't be remembering.
it is what it is, bro.
Like the 21
Yeah.
question date question.
I be quick to be like, I'm not afraid to take L's. So first of all, I know exactly who I am. So when it comes to, detailing to a person who I am, I don't feel like I'm gonna take a lot of them, because I'm not, who I am is who I am at this point. If you don't like it, then we not meant. That it is what it is. But if I do slip up and I do say something that doesn't align with who I am, or I have it transition to a different person, I don't mind saying, you're right. I'm not that person no more, or I fucked around and lied. Something happened. I don't know why I told you this. Thank you. Thank you for checking me. I'll bleep it. 54 minutes. I'll bleep it.
And I think that's
We had
okay, because
54
I feel like
minutes?
we're always changing, we're always evolving.
Yeah.
What I said last month may not
be
Yeah.
true.
check up to what
It's
I'm doing
definitely
this
not.
month. You know,
That's
I was
why-
telling you in
that's-
the
And that
strength
is
of that
okay.
moment.
I need you to be attached. If you're gonna be attached to anything about me, be attached to the foundational, fundamental things about me. I'm a
Right.
kind person. I'm loving. I love a sense of humor. All of like the details, they may be different in the next 30 minutes. So don't hold on to those things.
Yeah. No,
but do you
same.
hold on to them things?
Huh?
Do you? Like, do you hold on? Like, when
I
someone
used to.
is telling you who they are, do you go back and be like, oh, that didn't align with what she said today?
I used to.
Okay.
I stopped doing it because I experienced, time and experience. I've noticed that I become that person. Like, I'm literally 30 minutes ago, I'm not that person that I was 30 minutes ago. So,
Wait.
like 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
I did want to go to the movies with you, but now I don't.
Ooh, that's me.
Oh, I don't
I
like
Do you
that.
feel like
I
that's?
I don't like that.
Listen, do you?
'Cause
But
when
wait,
you
wait,
say
wait.
something, I want you to
Yeah, that's
stand on
that's
it.
that's a Taurus for you.
That's a big turn off for me. If you tell me something, I want you to stand on it.
Yeah,
That's not fair. I don't think that's
It's
fair.
not fair, and I'm trying to.
It's not fair.
I'm
That's-
trying not to hold on to little things no more. You know, like For an example, if someone tell me like, "Oh, damn, I want to go to the movies with you tonight," and then tonight comes and he's tired.
That's the difference.
He's tired, and he's like,
That don't
"Damn,
mean
can
he
we-
didn't
can
wanna
we-"
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. It did it. I'd be mad. I'd be pissed. Like, goddamn, like,
Because I cleared
you're
my
right.
schedule for this.
And
Yeah.
not even that. I could have just been at home not doing nothing. But
Because
I
you
get-
could have shut the fuck
but
up.
I
Is
think
what
I
she's
need
saying?
to understand. Right. I think I need to understand and be understanding of people.
Yeah.
Things happen. Things change. Be okay with just going with the flow. But
So-
I'd be pissed.
But it's-
No, I'd be pissed.
Still love you though. That's foundation, fundamental
No,
stuff.
Right.
I think I'm with Tony too with that. Like if we trying to get to know each other, build a foundation, and you tell me something that you trying to do to build on that, and then you renege, nah.
If it's
Hold
not
on,
a,
hold
if
on.
it's
I feel
not
like
an all
those
the
moments-
time
I'm about to
thing,
keep
if it's not an
moving.
all the time
Next.
thing,
There you go.
I think you need to give people grace.
There you go. That's what I was just about
Give
to say.
people
Yeah,
grace.
But
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
I'm
If it's a
ti-
one,
I'm
if it's
tired
a
all the
one
time,
time,
man.
yeah. If it's a one time
If-
thing,
But if
then
it's an
yeah.
all the time thing,
Yeah.
You
boy,
always tired,
Yeah,
bruh.
right,
But-
right.
Stop promising me.
If
Right.
we talk about accountability though, did you ask him, hey, did you want us to reschedule to tomorrow?
Wait,
Are you doing the other work to be like,
So-
hey, I know you feeling
I don't
bad.
feel like that should be her responsibility.
Ooh.
I feel like that should be the
Wait,
girl's
bro.
Yes.
responsibility.
right there.
yes.
What?
be
I
honest with
agree
you.
with both. I agree with
Yeah.
both. But sometimes if you're in that long term relationship, if it's not someone new, right? Someone new, I feel like they should.
They should make that
They should
effort.
make that
Yeah,
effort.
yeah.
But if it's
y'all been
someone that
dating-
you've been
yeah,
dating and you know them, you know their
Yeah.
heart, you know who they
Yeah.
are as a person.
then yeah,
Hey, babe, I know you were tired. Do you want to go another day?
yeah.
But that's the new me. Because
That-
before I would have been like, did you tell me was going
You
to
tired.
like, God
You
damn.
tired.
You always tired. You always goddamn tired.
I
Like,
be having a problem when people say that ain't my responsibility. And the only reason I do is because now that I manage people, a lot of stuff ain't your responsibility. But if you want to really make it work, there's going to be some stuff that ain't your responsibility that you're going to have to do on both sides. So if you
That's
just-
temporarily though.
Yeah, I mean, but again, you got to teach and you got to grow. If you never do it, then you ain't never teaching that person, or you're not ever kind of growing through that situation. You just being like,
Yeah, because
I
you
ain't
gotta
doing that
teach
'cause
people
ain't
how
my
to treat you.
I ain't doing that because I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
But it's
That's
like
fair.
some of the stuff you're not gonna really grow and learn how to be with a person and kind of compromise and do things if you just gonna push it off because it ain't your responsibility or because there's some gender role or whatever the case is that you just don't want to do.
Oh, speaking
A
of
lot
that,
Go ahead.
no, go.
What I was
like
gonna,
that
all,
sparks
all I was
something.
going to say is
I do
I
it on
agree
purpose.
with you, but there, a lot of people, most people are ready for the things that may happen in a relationship, like because of they know who they are, they know the person that they're with, they understand that their relationship, how their relationship works, and sometimes people look 2 to 3 steps outside of what's currently happening. But the outliers, everyone isn't paying attention to the outliers, like the things that barely happen. The people don't know how to react to it. So when it happens, they get mad. Like if we always go to the movies, even when you're tired, if that's always happening, the moment that you decide to not go because you're tired, I got an issue because this isn't a thing. And I also haven't prepared myself to react to that. Like I don't know how to react to this new thing that's happening. So
Are you talking from a personal standpoint, or like just as a whole?
I'm talking both. I do feel like this is how people react in general, and this is also how I've reacted before.
when you take a step back from this is just who I am and I know I'm gonna react to that situation. So like when you look at your perfect self, would you want to react like that?
Right.
My girl said she's tired, she don't want to go to the movies. How would you react to that if you were your perfect self?
Yeah.
So I would say, well, it first of all, it depends. That's the first thing.
I gotta follow.
Well, how I would want to respond is I would be like, okay, cool.
Are
So
you
this is what I do.
sure?
My perfect self would be
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. I understand. You want to talk about how your day was, or you just want to go to? Okay, cool. You can go to. Well, go ahead and go to sleep. Take a nap, and then we can talk about it whenever you're ready. What I'll go ahead and do is I'll reschedule it when you get up because I need to know what time you're gonna actually be free and have energy.
So
we
why
can talk
don't
then.
you do that? I think we
So-
should be moving
Acting
in
as
life as our perfect person.
Quantum
Like our,
leaping.
yes.
Here's the
That's
thing,
what I was
though.
gonna piggyback
Here's
off
the
of.
thing,
Go
though.
ahead.
My response.
and it's hard.
My
Listen.
response to that is my response to that is my reaction to an outlier situation is still fair because we're humans and we're imperfect. So
Right.
I understand that within 99% of the time, if we're within the realm of our relationship and things that usually happen, I am going to react in a way that's healthy because of my experiences. Things that happen that never happens or rarely happens, my reaction to it is going to be fair because these are things that are happening for the first time. What I don't need to make adjustments to how I react to the situation if it's happening for the first time. What I need to make adjustments to is how I react in general.
Thank you. I was about to be like, sir.
But
However,
why
it's the
can't
first
you-
time for you, not the other person.
Right, but it's for if Kavette comes up and slap me right now, it's gonna be the first time she slaps me.
Ever.
My reaction should be to punch her. Right?
But is that what you want to do?
But
Yeah,
you
that's
see what I'm
another-
saying? So if
That's what you want to do.
right, that's that.
So-
even if it's in a perfect world, I would punch you.
Right.
But if I'm working
In a
hard-
perfect world, you
Yeah.
punch me?
well, in a
God dang.
I'm knock your ass out.
Oh my God. We're not perfect, but if we know in our perfect realm of who we are and who we want to be is not to react this way, but we still have that impulse, we got some work to do.
Yeah.
And I
Agreed.
feel you just have to, just like I said, you wake up every day and be like, oh, I choose to be happy. I wake up every day and choose to, like, if someone says something I don't like, let me think about it first.
Right.
Before
Because
I
they
react.
coming from a certain place
And
within
that's my
them.
perfect person to think before I react.
Once you realize that that's what you need to do, the next step is like how you do that with limited amount of time. Like, it
Right.
usually takes me
That
5
bounce back time.
Yeah, that bounce back time.
Ooh, that
witty
bounce
time.
back time is fucking
Yeah, I'm trying to do it in 3 seconds.
right. Not 5 years.
Not 5 years.